Hello and welcome back with me, Admiral. Joining me back on Star Trek Fleet Command as always. Just want to point out, thank you very much to all new subscribers. We are at 800 subscribers now, so we're only 200 away from being at 1,000, which is our next goal. So don't forget to keep smashing that subscribe button, making sure to like all the videos and commenting down below, because they're the free ways to do it that will massively help the channel out and support me going forward to the future. Today's episode is going to be mainly about PvP style crews, and we're going to focus mainly on the Augur, but these are transferable across most of the battleships within the game, so bear that in mind. But yeah, we are focusing mainly on the Augur today just because I've got it set up, predominantly got it set up mostly anyway. Today's video is going to be about how to take on the likes of the Enterprises, how to take on the likes of D4s, how to take on Jellies, and like I say, focus mainly on battleships, or in this case the Augur, and what type of crews to put on them ships, because I know a lot of people have been asking for it, so I thought I would ask Discord. We've been having a fair big discussion on Discord, on my Discord that is, and we've come to some conclusions that some crews are obviously better than others. I know I'm not going to cover every single crew layout you can obviously do, but if you do have a specific crew layout that you use for, say, an Augur or one of your battleships, then please do let me know in the comments down below. I am massively interested in hearing all your different viewpoints, and obviously being able to pass on the information going forward to the future, because obviously not everyone has these ships yet, or not everyone has the officers yet, so it'd be really useful for me to pass that information on to them for when they unlock then said different things that they need. So let's crack on. So the one crew that we're going to focus on to start with is going to be, I think I've seen screenshots of this. It seems to definitely work. It seems to hit really, really hard, especially if you've got a decent leveled Kirk, especially less Khan even, and Gorkon, and Kirk's going to be the other one that we're going to use. So we're going to use Kirk. I can't move him into this ability slot because he is away on a away mission at the moment. But the reason we're going to use Kirk, I'll just get his leader's ability up. So his leader's ability, as long as the ship has morale, Kirk gives the all officers on the ship bonus of 40% of all of their stats. Okay, so that's why you're getting that. Obviously, a secondary ability gives you that morale boost, so that's pretty much going to pop most of the time. And then you're going to use Gorkon. I know this doesn't synergize, but it does seem to work. So then you're going to get Gorkon for this hull breach capability. Obviously, he has a 75% chance to cause hull breach for 3 rounds to the opponent's ship. Obviously, if you do hull breach, then you obviously are going to be hitting harder. And then the last one you're going to be using, bearing in mind you are wanting to get a higher leveled Khan. I don't currently, but it doesn't really matter too much, because his secondary ability, or his officer ability, which is the one you want predominantly, is every time the ship is hit by a ship or defense platform, weapon attack Khan increases the critical hit chance by 2%, and this is cumulative, so this will just keep adding up and adding up. So obviously if you can keep hitting them critical hits, you will obviously do more and more damage throughout the battle. I have seen some Augurs, especially with the obliterator weapon, do deal in excess of way over 1 million damage per hit. Because these obviously have been hitting, they've been able to hit a critical as well, again, and you're going to be able to hit more if Gorkon pops the hull breach, so you're going to hit even harder than previous. The undercrews, yeah, I'm not focusing on them today, so take them as you will. I haven't really min-maxed them as such, so I'm just focusing on the main bridge crews themselves in this video especially. So the first one, like I say, is going to be this crew setup. The second crew setup that we're going to use, which is going to go back to any pretty much essentially any battleship can use this, and that's going to be this crew layout. I wouldn't use, normally I would use Kumak. However, again, he's away on a away mission. However, you don't have to use that. You can also stick in Khan. So if you put Khan in that last slot as well, so you could put Khan in there, for example. So this is going to be your typical, very, very typical burning crew. Obviously, you're going to be using Giorgio if you have her unlocked. I personally don't, so I can't use her. And then you would probably use Ash Tyler in the secondary slot with Giorgio, because they do synergize pretty damn well together. Again, I don't have Giorgio, so I'm going to run through this crew. But yeah, Khan is useful no matter what, because he still operates in the same manner. He still increases that critical hit chance. for every single weapon that's on board. So it doesn't matter what weapon it is, he still has that critical hit chance accumulating over time. So Khan is definitely one of your biggest go-to PvP style players. And then we're going to go for, obviously, the Burning Crew setup, because at the beginning of each round, if the opponent's ship is burning, Nero increases the damage of the weapons by 40%, which again is pretty big. And then every time the ship strikes the opponent with a weapon attack, Nero has a 30% chance of burning for 2 rounds. So again, this is a good ability. Giorgio works a lot better, but it is a good ability overall. The reason it's good on the Augur is because if you look at the weapon layout, so you've got 3 different weapons you can choose from. This weapon, which is obviously the obliterator weapon, I don't think will trigger the necessary the burning, but the energy weapon, which is this one, so it fires 2 shots per round. It only takes 1 round to recharge, so it fires every single round. It takes 1 round to charge, fires 2 shots per round, and it takes 1 round to recharge, which is then means it's firing every single round. So every time you fire this weapon, which is 2 shots per round, obviously you're hitting that enemy, and then that burning can pop each time. And then you got the second one as well, which is exactly the same. Again, you got 4 opportunities there to hit the enemy, basically consecutively. And that's how you're essentially going to do this. So every time the weapon hits, it's going to potentially pop off burning. It does say weapon attack, so it might work on kinetic, but I can't 100% guarantee that. But certainly it does work on the energy weapons. And like I say, because of the way that it fires, then this is going to potentially pop quite frequently. And then you're going to use Vomit in the last slot, I would personally say, because at the beginning of each round, if the opponent's ship is burning, Vomit decreases the shield health by an amount equal to 400% of the health of all the officers on the ship. So what you want to do to sort of min-max this one, you want to obviously get your health as high as possible, because then you're going to look at whatever that health is, and then you're going to then obviously add on, times that by 4. If it's 400%, you're going to times this by 4, and that's how much Vomit is going to take off the health of the shields, which in the grand scheme of things is not a huge amount, but that will stack up over time, especially if you can get a really high health pool on the ship. Or alternatively, you could swap them over, because you've got the Romulan tenacity. If the ship survives an attack that depletes its shields and is destroyed in one of the following attacks during the same battle, the ship has a chance to survive afterwards, which means you can fight to go another day, and you can sort of potentially retreat or something on the lines of that. Or alternatively, you could use Kumak, which again is a really good ability. So at the beginning of each round, Kumak increases the stats of all the officers on the ship by 5%. Again, very good, very similar to Kirk in that sense. The only thing with Kirk, he increases obviously them stats even more so just bear that in mind. And then a secondary ability, which is what you're probably using for as long as the enemy ship is burning, which is why you pair him with Nero. Kumak increases the armor, shield, deflection, and dodge of the ship by 40%, 80%. Can't read today, but yeah, he increases it all by 80%. So again, he's going to then get synergy on top of this discipline if you put him in that slot as well. If you put him in the captain slot, that is, because you only really need Nero for this burning ability. His main ability is still good because it increases the weapon damage by 60% overall, and if you're hitting with them energy weapons every turn, you're then hitting with the obliterator as well, which is again very typical of the Augur. You're going to be able to hit really hard, and especially then if your Khan is popping these potential critical hit chances every other round or every round, however fast he can pop them, or weapon damage is going to be going up overall, and you could potentially deal quite substantial amount of damage. But yeah, that's where we're going to leave it today. We're going to, like I said, I'm not going to go through every single crew layout. These are the crew layouts that we spoke about originally on Discord and stuff. So if you want to head over to Discord and we can carry on this chat there. The next video is going to come, and it's going to be predominantly do with survey or explorers, which is like basically the Enterprise. We're going to talk about the Enterprise predominantly. I don't have the ship, but we can still talk about the crew layout inside of it. And then it's going to, that that type of crew is going to go towards pretty much most of the other explorer types of ships, and then we're going to go move on to the D4 and talk about interceptors as a whole, with one exception, that the Sally is going to be slightly different, most likely, to the D4, just because of the firing layout of that. But we'll discuss that in future videos. Hopefully this video has been useful to you. If it has been, don't forget to consider liking it. Comment down below your thoughts and opinions on different crew layouts, whether you think this works, because I know it does work because I've seen screenshots, but whether you use this crew layout or whether you use something else, please let me know down below, and I am really interested to hear it. Other than that, I will see you next time. Bye bye for now. Just as a quick reminder, we are streaming later on today, so 2 o'clock, which will be 2 p.m. in the afternoon. We will be streaming, so don't forget to join me there. If you're in East Coast America, then take 5 hours from 2, so that's 9 a.m. it will be for East Coast America time. And obviously, if you're mainland Europe, then it will most likely be somewhat in the 3 p.m. Sort of region. If you're East mainland Europe, then you're going to be looking at maybe about 4 o'clock. So bear that in mind. I was meant to mention it at the start of the video, but however, here it is now. So I will see you at the stream for 2 p.m.